Today's episode of the More You Know podcast is brought to you by CrowdQuestion, a brand new social communication platform focused on connecting crowds to bring everyone closer to their community, as well as enhancing any occasion. Rather than being a social media platform focused on content and advertising, they're focused on communication and connection. Learn more about the platform and download the app free at crowdquestion.com.
I'm just trying to make it all make sense.
The
More
You
No
Podcast.
Today I want to share Jim Thorpe's journey to significance. So Jim Thorpe was born in Indian Territory in Oklahoma. No one really knows his day of birth because he was born on Native American territory, but they know he was born somewhere between 1887 and 1888. His father Hiram was half Irish and half Indian, and his mother was half French and half Indian. This made for an interesting cultural upbringing for Jim, being raised in the Sac and Fox Native American culture, but also having two Roman Catholic parents and being baptized. He attended the Sac and Fox Indian Agency School in Stroud, Oklahoma, along with his twin brother Charlie. His brother unfortunately died of pneumonia though at the age of 9, which led to Jim having a troubled childhood. He'd regularly run away from school, which made his father send him to an Indian boarding school in Lawrence, Kansas. And during this time in Kansas, his mother died of childbirth complications, which made Jim depressed. At this point he was also getting in arguments with his father, and he dropped out of school to work on a horse ranch. Then at the age of 16, he returned to his father and attended an industrial school in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Here his athletic ability was recognized, and he was coached by the great Glenn Scobie Pop Warner, who is one of the most influential coaches of early American football history. Unfortunately, shortly after starting this school and playing football, his father died of gangrene poisoning from being wounded in a hunting accident, and Jim became an orphan. He then dropped out of school and resumed farm work, but after a few years returned to the school. At this point he really began to excel in athletics. He competed in track and field, football, baseball, lacrosse, and even ballroom dancing, winning the 1912 Intercollegiate Ballroom Dancing Championship. And his ability to excel in all these different athletics provided him with nationwide attention. Then, after being finished with school, he participated in the 1912 Summer Olympics in Stockholm, Sweden. Jim participated in the pentathlon and decathlon, which included the long jump, high jump, javelin throw, 200-meter dash, discus throw, 1500-meter run, shot put, 100-yard dash, 120-yard high hurdles, and several other events. At the end of this Olympics, he placed in the top 4 in all 10 events, and his Olympic record of 8,413 points stood for nearly 2 decades. Jim received 2 gold medals and 2 challenge prizes, and in no way did the success go unnoticed in America. He returned home as a star. Then the following year, he played baseball for the New York Giants, winning a National League championship with them. The team also went on a world tour, and Thorpe was the celebrity of the tour. His presence increased the publicity and attendance for the tour. After playing for over 20,000 people in London and finishing the tour, he still played baseball for another several years. He never abandoned football either. He played pro football starting in 1913, and over a 15-year period, played in the APFA, which was the predecessor to the NFL, and then played in the NFL, even making the All-NFL team. What people were also unaware of until 2005 was that during this time he was also playing pro basketball. He played on the world-famous Indians of LaRue, which was a traveling basketball team. Jim Thorpe's journey to significance has always been one of my favorite stories since childhood. He literally came from nothing. Then his family gradually died and he became an orphan, but he was gifted with amazing athletic talents and used them to excel in more sports than any other person has. While Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders played multiple professional sports, they only played 2, and they weren't in the Olympics either. To me, Jim Thorpe is one of the greatest athletes of all time, and no doubt became a significant icon. I hope this talk makes a positive impact in your life. Please subscribe to the podcast wherever you are listening or watching it. Check out other episodes. Leave a review. Follow the podcast on social media at More You Know Pod. And sign up for CrowdQuestion to ask me questions about the episode. Again, thank you for listening as we propel through podcasting with the More You Know.
I'm just trying to make it all make sense.
The
More
You
No
Podcast.